everyone, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. I'm really happy to have you today in the kitchen with me and my husband Dan. This is Dan, who's gonna make me laugh the whole time because he always does make me laugh. So today we are going to be making breakfast recipes in mason jars. So if you remember a couple of days ago, I was experimenting with dessert recipes and main course recipes for my adult kids for Christmas presents in mason jars. Just easy things they can dump into a pot, add a few other liquid ingredients to, and have a home cooked meal. And that went really well, and it's something that we're excited to kind of continue experimenting with. I don't know about you, but breakfasts can be really challenging to be creative with them. But I do like to start the day off with a home cooked breakfast. So being able to have a whole bunch of jars on the pantry that I can just pull off, add the liquid ingredients to, and have something delicious to serve my family for breakfast makes me feel really good. So I think this is going to go really well. So if you'll remember a couple of days ago, this idea was spawned out of when I was making the recipes for my kids for Christmas. So I was doing desserts in jars like brownies and cookies, and also some main courses. So this idea spawned out of that. And then I saw Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead doing some muffin mixes, and I think she did some breakfasts too in jars, and I just thought that is absolutely brilliant. So we are going to do it. So we're gonna do breakfast cookies, we're going to do homemade muffin mix, and the muffin mix will be one that we can do different things with depending on what I have on hand in the kitchen that morning. And then we're also going to do our pancake recipe out of our cookbook. We're going to create kind of an assembly line thing with Dan here helping me, and we're gonna start with the breakfast cookies. This recipe that we're gonna do, this first one, is from Sally's Baking Addiction. She has a really great blog, recipe blog. I'll make sure that I link these two recipes below, and then I have the pancake recipe that is out of my cookbook, and my cookbook is available right now for pre-sales, and there's also a digital version as well. So we kind of have all our ingredients laid out here and our jars washed. We just ran them all through the dishwasher. We have another batch in the dishwasher right now, sitting back there. So where do you want to do them? Do you want to do them on that side?
Can we just do them right here?
Yeah, sure. We can bring them over. That sounds good. So how many jars do you want to do
Let's just start
of each?
So I need oats then?
Yeah, the oats,
I don't
they're
think
right
we can
over here.
because you'll probably get ahead of me. So I can just grab jars, and then I can just keep feeding you jars, and we'll just find a pace that works.
Okay. That
It's gonna
sounds
change
good.
for each recipe probably.
Okay. I've got a funnel here. Yeah, the thick ones. I'm gonna need a different funnel though. It's a dirty funnel. Let's start with a clean funnel, shall we? I'm excited about this recipe. I'll show you all the ingredients once we start putting them in, but it's a really healthy recipe that looks like it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So do you want to start with putting in the 2 cups of oats in all these?
Sure.
Okay. And then I'll look at our next recipe. I think I might have a 2 cup. This one's a 2 cup measure, I think.
There's a 4 cup measure.
Yeah, there's a 2 cup.
I had no idea I bought such a big one.
I wanted to show you what Dan brought me home yesterday. He brought some matching measuring cups and measuring spoons that match my kitchen, which I love. And some spatulas too. That just made me so happy when I saw that this morning.
Oh man, that's easy.
Easy peasy, right?
So is there any chance you're gonna want to change the order of this?
No, I don't think so. I think the order will be fine.
So I almost think we have too many jars.
Oh, I wonder. Too many jars?
Or we can push them back.
Since we haven't done this before, this is going to be a little bit of a trial and error situation. So let's measure out. Yeah, let's do it.
So
these
how much
first.
of this goes in each
Only
one?
half a cup. You only need half a cup of those per.
We probably can do
batch.
quite a bit actually.
Yeah,
We're
I
shooting
think
for
you're-
what, 20 jars? of
Yeah,
these?
if we could do 20 jars, that would be amazing. This is the one that I want to do the most of. Actually, the muffin mix.
I bet you we get
guess.
20 jars out of this. Under 2 hours.
That would be
Let's time it.
okay. That would be absolutely incredible. That's a lot of breakfasts. And then, so what I'm thinking with these is, we could have, say, 2 of these cookies, a bowl of yogurt, because I always have homemade yogurt available, and then a piece of fruit, and that would make a really well-balanced breakfast.
So we're on a goal, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do
we
100
wanted to.
breakfasts in under 2 hours.
Okay. Okay.
That's the goal.
I love
So
this.
we know it's all going to fit, right? So does it matter the layers? Do you care?
No, I don't, but I just...
Aesthetically, anything? I think
No.
the green looks nice around the bottom myself. But
the reason I'm doing this one is just because I need to know how many we're gonna actually end up with. Because
there'll be 20.
this one recipe.
Well, how many you got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And you're at 11.
These smell really good.
They smell like money. They're the color of money too.
They smell like money.
Same color as money, weird. 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, we're short one.
So we're not going to get 20 because this is, nope.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I might have a few pumpkin seeds. Hang on one second. I did find a few extras, so we will be able to get 20. Oh dear, that's why I had it in an extra bag. Oh my goodness.
Do you want to put them into a cup or something like this?
Sure. Wait, so we'll just divide this up.
That worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we need 2 cups of oats in each one.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon in each of these jars as well. Yes, this is going to be very efficient with you here, helping things along.
So somehow I have to keep track of which ones you put cinnamon in.
Half a teaspoon of salt. I think this may be like a new thing for me. This is so great.
Certainly taking less time than canning.
Well, then canning, certainly. Okay, so we also need half a cup of raisins. I'm gonna need some more raisins. Like you're
I
right.
feel like we're overcomplicating this.
We probably are overcomplicating it. Okay, so now we have to add the half a cup of raisins.
So what else do you have to add? Because I can get started.
Craisins, half a cup of craisins.
Half a cup.
Half a cup.
Do we have another half cup?
I do have another funnel too, so we can both use it. Look at how nice that's gonna look. I love it. I buy my raisins in bulk and then I just put them in the freezer for, it's just because that keeps them fresh, but I buy them in big 25-pound boxes.
So just push that down a little bit.
Yeah, you can knock it down a little.
I have a feeling I'm guilty of not measuring very accurately.
This recipe also calls for flaxseed, but we're going to use this daily fiber boost. It has all kinds of different good stuff in it, like flaxseed is the main ingredient, psyllium husk, fenugreek seed powder, organic dandelion root powder, and organic burdock root powder. So lots of good healthy stuff in there. So we're just gonna add a 1/4 cup of this to top these jars off, and then we'll be able to try the sealer and see how that works, sealing these jars up.
So these 3 still need raisins.
Yeah, I've got cranberries in these ones.
So we're just putting this right
I
on
just
top,
think
right?
these look so beautiful.
Just
Yeah,
everything
right on the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy doodle, there's no more room in that.
No, it's right to the very, very tippy top.
This was half cup, right?
No, not half, 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup.
Oh, it will be perfect.
Okay, so once you get the flaxseed in there, then we can.
How come yours look prettier than mine? Maybe not.
Why do they look prettier? I don't think so.
Maybe it's fine.
I just think they look they're so pretty.
The flaxseed, this is where like choosing your layers probably would help though.
Because we would put the flax on the
Because the
bottom.
flaxseed is covering all the
Cranberries and stuff.
pretty cranberries.
Yeah, that's true. We could do the flaxseed if we do this again on the bottom.
I would go flaxseed and then pumpkin seed and then oatmeal, then berries, and then spices.
Yeah.
I think. Next time.
I think that's a great idea.
What else is weird is we have the same exact jars, and some are really full, and some are not.
That is so weird. I wonder how that
But only on my side.
I seriously love these dish towels so much.
Where'd you get these?
These are the gingerbread ones. I just love them. They're my favorite. I do have a code for these dish towels for 20% off. I love them. They make me happy. I'm gonna give them away as Christmas gifts to everyone I know because I just think they're so beautiful and they work well, which feels surprising because they're just this thin cotton, but they just like absorb and
And what about her apron? Look at her apron.
This is a gingerbread apron too, and it's actually one that goes up over your shoulders. I just have it folded down because I prefer just this style
So just
of
check
apron.
that.
Yeah. Dan said I looked like a Christmas present.
No, I meant that. That sounds terrible. It sounds really like it's like God's gift to me.
Aw. You're the sweetest. Okay, we still got the rest of these, and then we get to try the new machine that you got me yesterday. I had the same
lids here.
Food Saver vacuum sealer for 15 years, and my dad had it for at least 10 years before that. So it's been in the family for a long time, but it bit the dust finally. So we got a new one yesterday. We'll see how it works. Oh, we still need a couple more. I feel like we're gonna even be more efficient with the next round now that we kind of have the system happening. And the lid's washed too. I just think that looks so
Well, we've
pretty.
used 25 minutes.
Of our time? Okay, well,
We have 20 jars done.
We better pick up the pace then a little bit. Okay, so this is the machine. This is the vacuum sealer part, and I have one for regular jars and one for wide mouth. So we'll give this a go. Okay, yep. So as far as I know, and then you have to pull this off, twist it off. Oh, you try.
Did you release?
Look at that.
How does it do that?
That's so cool.
How does it get the vacuum in the can?
That's awesome.
Wow, that was fast.
That's fast. Okay, cool. This is so exciting to me. So much faster than canning.
Strip off 100 jars, couple hours.
Yeah, exactly.
No picking, no prep, no washing.
Yeah, no chopping. And look at that. So pretty. Okay.
You know where would be a good place for these is in our new pantry we're going to build.
Oh, yes.
A bunch of them.
Yes.
Like breakfast food.
Yes.
Breakfast pantry.
Oh,
Or
that's
breakfast and snacks.
breakfast and snacks. I think that's an absolutely fantastic idea. So this one is from Melissa K. Norris, this homemade muffin mix recipe. So this one, thank you. So this one was specifically all the measurements and everything are done for a mason jar. That's why I chose this recipe, but it's just your basic muffin recipe. So, and then we'll do all the additions of anything that we want to add to it. So if we want to make blueberry muffins, we'll just add those when we're actually going to make this recipe up. So we need all of our jars lined up.
Should we do 20 more?
Yeah, let's do 20 more. Okay, so we're gonna need whole wheat flour in here, and what I want to try to do is pack enough in one of these jars for a double recipe, because one single recipe makes 12 muffins. Well, maybe that's enough for a breakfast. It's not like you need to, but because you eat yogurt and like, it's not like you're just eating muffins, right? You're gonna eat like a fruit or yogurt or smoothie or something like that with it. So, but let's try it doubled and just see if we can actually fit.
Let's try it.
If we could, that would be so good. Oh, look, Dan, look at how much more space I'm making.
Just made a cup's worth.
I just made a cup's worth of space. Okay, so now we need the 1 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of baking soda.
All right.
Okay, I think it's gonna work. Hang on, do you want your funnel? Where did it go? Here it is.
What funnel?
It's gonna be just enough. Look at that! Woohoo!
24 muffins.
24 muffins.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. Okay, so I guess we'll just set this one on here.
Flour.
Okay, so this recipe is whole wheat flour. You could also use all-purpose flour if you wanted to for this recipe. And so, like I said, it's just a basic muffin recipe. So baking soda, baking powder, salt, all that stuff. But I'll link these recipes down below if you want the actual measurements for all of
The
this.
4-cup measure.
The 4 cup. Yeah, this is going to be a little more time consuming just to get all the air out. Oh, and I was doing the flour with all like the baking powder and stuff, then the sugar. Top.
I definitely did not do that. That just barely fits.
Yeah, it's a tight squeeze.
Just barely.
This is good. Yeah, just let's add the baking powder and baking soda first.
So this is the muffin mix?
Yeah. If you were just gonna do the single batch of this, it would be a lot quicker. But having to like slant, you know, kind of shake out the air.
This is so crazy. The sugar like flies out of here. I don't know if it's static electricity or what. I know I sound crazy, but I'm not. I'm going to show you now. Show me.
Okay, you're showing me?
You can put your face right here.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't do it now. I'm serious. I did like 4 jars and it was just, it's like, what the heck's going on? I'm not making this up.
It's okay.
I'm not. Why would it be so weird? Oh, watch.
What the heck?
I told you. I told you I was doing
You were
it.
right, okay? You aren't losing your mind. Dan has almost all the jars sealed over there. We are noticing that for those of the jars that don't have a lot of head space, so that's the space between the product and the lid, they're not holding a seal very well. So we are going to put rings on all of them and just tighten them down just to ensure that they stay sealed. So I've started on the pancakes over here, and I will read you out the recipe for the pancakes because I don't think I have this over on my blog. I might. If I do, I'll put a link, but grab a pen and paper if you would like this recipe. This is a really good pancake recipe. So we're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to use half all-purpose, half whole wheat for this recipe, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt. And then when we're going to be adding wet ingredients to this recipe, it's going to be 1 3/4 cups of oat or almond milk or regular milk, which is what I usually use, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a dash of nutmeg, and 1 large egg. So we've decided that we're going to do 16 jars of the pancake mix, and then we're also going to do some of the fruit cobbler base, like the cake part of the fruit cobbler mix with the rest of our jars over there. So we'll do 10, I think it's around 10 or 12 of those ones, because we actually do fruit cobbler for breakfast quite often as well. So I'm really excited about this, looking at all that food over there all done. It's going to make it so easy. That combined with all the canning that I did this summer, the convenience meals I canned, is going to make for busy days just to be so much easier, but still have home cooked food, which I love. I've already added the baking powder in here, so now I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt, because like I said, we're doubling this recipe for in here. 1 teaspoon of salt. So the ingredients for this recipe are actually very similar to the base recipe for our muffins, just slightly different. I'm going to add the nutmeg into this as well. And 1/2 cup of sugar. You could totally omit the nutmeg from this recipe if you don't like nutmeg. And you could add some cinnamon to it if you like, if you want cinnamon flavored pancakes.
We're actually all holding even the really full ones now.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Now I'm just going to top these off. So I did half of them, or just a little under half, with the whole wheat flour. And now I'm going to top them off with the white flour. Definitely feeling a little more efficient now. All right, our pancakes are now done. Okay, so now we're gonna do our fruit cobbler. Okay, so for this recipe, we are going to do 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then to that, when we're going to mix this up, we're going to add 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla, and whatever fruit we want on the bottom of it. So you just put the fruit in your pan with some little knobs of butter, and then pour this cobbler mix on top, and it makes an awesome cobbler. So I am also going to double this recipe. Maybe I'll even triple it. Yeah, I'm gonna triple this recipe. So we'll do 3 cups of flour, and we're gonna use just the white flour for this recipe. Okay, friends, I have now been abandoned by my husband. He got all of the jars all done over there, but he has gone downstairs to finish up the last bit of work that we have on the pantry before our pantry tour, which is very exciting. So I am going to put together a batch of the muffins and a batch of the cookies using the jars. Dan and I were both saying, oh, it kind of seems unfortunate to open up the jars after we just got these all set up, but I do want to show you the whole process of putting all of these together. So we're going to start with these cookies here. Oh, there are still flies, friends. We are into the end of October and we still have flies in the kitchen. It's driving me bonkers. All right, so for our breakfast cookies, we're going to dump the entire jar. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we've decided to keep the rings on nice and tight just to hold the lids down in case those seals fail. So we're gonna dump this right in. We are going to add 1 cup of peanut butter. 1 cup of peanut butter, and this is chunky peanut butter. And I have the oven preheating to actually I think it's supposed to be 325 and I did 350. So I've added our maple syrup. So that's half a cup of mashed banana and then a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And then 1/3 a cup of apple butter. Mix that all together. That was so easy. Just want to make sure I get all that peanut butter mixed in there well. So we take a 1/4 cup measure for these. Okay, so, and then it says to flatten them out just a little bit. And then we are going to bake them in the oven for 16 to 20 minutes. Okay, next up, we're going to do our muffins, and I'm going to make these into blueberry muffins. So for our muffins, we're gonna do the same thing. Dump the whole thing in there. 2 eggs. 2 cups of milk. And 1 cup of melted butter. Now we're going to mix in all of our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. So because I used whole wheat flour, straight up whole wheat flour for this, I may need to add a little bit more liquid than the recipe calls for, but maybe not. Just because whole wheat flour, stone ground flour like this tends to absorb more liquid, but no, that looks good. Perfect. Okay, so with muffins, just mix until the wet and the dry ingredients are incorporated. I'm going to add a cup of blueberries. And if you don't want your blueberries to turn your muffin mix blue or purple, just rinse them, or not rinse them, but coat them with a little bit of flour, and that can help. But I don't care about that. Oh my goodness, the ease at which this came together is so awesome. Okay, so then we're gonna fill our muffin tray here, and then we're gonna bake these at 350 until they spring back, usually between 15 and 20 minutes. So we'll get these baked up, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished product. Muffins and cookies. So let's give these a try. So the plan with these would be, if I didn't mention this already, is we would have a couple of cookies with some yogurt and some fruit, or some muffins with probably some yogurt or some fruit, because we always have fresh yogurt. around. Those are delicious. Okay, let's try the muffins. Absolutely delicious. With that stoned ground flour, it almost tastes like a bran muffin. They're really good. I just ran down and gave Dan a piece and he said they were absolutely delicious. So that is fantastic. I am so excited to have all of these breakfasts sitting here on the counter, soon to be down on the pantry shelves. I hope you enjoyed today's video, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Whoops. Bye.